Hello YouTubers, DEFan388 coming at you out here for one more racing video of the year. It is the wrap up of the conclusion of the 2025 season, and gonna, of course, going to rank it. Of course, this will not be like last year. I don't think moving forward, no year will be quite as huge as 2024 was. Thank God for Iowa Speedway. That was fun, and but definitely got to say the first half. This is kind of interesting. The first half of the year was good. The second half, wow, what a game changer! And of course, a lot has to do with my grandfather getting me into this with this whole setup plus extra stuff too along the way with accumulating a few things for my collection, and thanks to his help and wisdom. Never forget that. And but moving forward, now he can see me in action, and that will mean also going back to Elko next year, and then redoing, and then be able to hopefully rebound enough over the off season to where I can get comfortable. And for opener, there will be garage interviews, and even for moving on just for next year as well at Elko Speedway. I think at some points while I'm doing it, if I happen to misstep or not talk as much, it's because my grandfather don't put that on me for bad performance. So it's because of my grandfather and going through the motions with missing him. So just hopefully take it a little bit easy on you guys next year. I'm hoping that everything goes well. The past interviews that I have done for opener at Elko have been awesome. I'm just hoping next year can be as good as the others. So fingers crossed for me personally. So, and it'd be really cool to get some feedback from you guys as well if that can help. That'd be pretty good. I know that Adam Broccoli did a prayer with me on the time that I came back on August 16th, my 100th time. An opener will make it 102. His championship was the second one after the 16th, and then go back until then. So that was 101. Opener will be 102, and then moving forward. So, but I certainly will get to Elko. I would like to make it 200. So, if there's happened to be a 200th specialized video like the 100th was, cool. If not, I'll just have that one personally for myself. But the front stretch experience this year was a huge help. Thanks to Adam Broccoli and Jason Searcy. And to shout out to Conrad Jorgensen and Brett the Freight Train Kane. That was a really cool deal, and I'm very glad that was a very cool setting for me personally and professionally as a YouTuber. So, and the subscribers I got this year was awesome. I'm almost clicking the 400. Just need a little extra boost. But during the off season, I have some stuff in the works to help get me there. But the car show was cool in Laconia. That's always a big hit. And then also adding music to the background. So, but moving forward. Garage interviews then will be back. It's too soon, given the circumstance that I had at my hands there. But other than that, then unfortunately I wasn't able to get anything from Oktoberfest. The reason why I couldn't do a garage interview because after the national anthem, everything just started going just started going in sequence of orders of events, and it was very organized, but it just went by super quick, and I just thought, boy, I thought there was going to be like a break in the action and everything, but for how fast I went, all the super late model teams were all busy with all their cars. They gave me some of the time. If you watch the first grid walk, you'll see Ty Fredrickson, Jeff Storm, and Ryan Farrell. So I got some interviews in there which I could do for the part 1, and then watch the second one, which is the number 2 logo that I have there. On the first one there's no number 1, but the second one has the 2 on it. But if you watch both of them for the grid walk at Oktoberfest for La Crosse Speedway, that was really good, and I like doing the grid walk panning out the whole field. Penn Sauter about won $50,000 because he had the $10,000 challenge, and if you win Oktoberfest, you get $40,000. Well, if he would have tacked on that, he would have got 50, and the payout for Penn Sauter, if he would have gotten 50,000, that's as much as the same driver gets winning the Snowball Derby at Pensacola, Florida, Fly Flag Speedway. Yet to get to that race, and it'd be interesting to see down the future and down the line if I ever get to that. But definitely glad I got to go to Toma. Glad I got Dells. Unfortunately, my phone died. I've actually figured out the power saver thing on my phone. If I would have known that sooner, I probably would have gotten the end of the race. Now, the thing about Oktoberfest this year, when I was going through the video content, I deleted the older footage that I already uploaded. And the first time I ever did something that was weird was deleting a video that I was going to upload, and I deleted the version that I had in the garage pit road area for the finish of the race. But I'm actually glad that I did delete that, because there was a service truck in my way that actually cut off the burnout that Casey Johnson did with the 5, and got some footage of Ty Madisky in there, but it really wasn't a good angle because of the service truck ruining it. So how I got the 91 finish at Lacrosse was that I went back, found a video on YouTube from this year that another guy did, and just pulled it off of my flat screen TV, and then dubbed it and saved it, and then uploaded it to that, and then I added me and my grandfather on there. So that's why I got the grandstand footage. But other than that, it was really good that I got to walk the whole length of pit road. That's a very good video. If you guys have not seen that video on me on pit road at Lacrosse for Oktoberfest this year, highly check that out, because I believe I added background music to that, and I did, and wanted to do that. So, and again, the top 10 drivers here of the results, talk about the points. You'll see it out here that I have 4 super late models / late model cars on here. Those all have big significant plays out here, and I'll get that here as I'm walking down the line here. But first things first, Oktoberfest. Number 1, Ty Majeski winning it, and won the championship last year. He didn't get it this year, thankfully. And a nice job to Casey Johnson in the 5, winning the championship. He did it back in 2023. When I was there, of course, last year was my grandfather's 80th birthday. That's why I couldn't be there on Sunday. But Ty would have won the championship anyway, so I'm glad I missed Sunday. Default, but I'm going back next year. Same for Thunderstruck 93 because of my brother's wedding, so I'll get redemption on that too. I got a little bit of this year because I have a Thunderstruck 93 decal 2025 sticker. Thanks to Alex Brisseth and the 20 late model team championship match. Appreciate you guys on the 20 card. You also gave me some personal stickers there too. So Ty Madisky winning. Second was the 39 at Andrew Morrissey. He's won this race before, but he didn't get it this year, but close. Third is your Midwest Tour Super Late Model Champion, the 5 at Casey Johnson. I grew up with him driving the blue 47 car with the red 47 number on it. Very nice car, but the 5 looks good. And fourth is the 69 of Michael Hyde. Top 5 and fifth is Penn Sauter, where you find your $10,000, almost $50,000 winner with the $10,000 challenge. Sixth is the 80 of Ryan Farrell. Seventh is the 80 of Nick Pedinsky. Nick, I don't know what's going on there. The 30 team had 2 cars. So one was a 30 with the 80 on it. The one was a 30 car with no 80. It was really weird to see that. And Nick normally drives car 22. I don't know what happened to his 22 Super. If it got demolished or destroyed in another race, but Nick normally drives car 22. I was really seeing him driving the 30-80 car. That was really weird, but that was pretty. There's 29 cars, 21 guys finished the race, and we'll talk more about that further down here. But nice job though for Nick Pedinsky finishing top 10 with a different car than he normally would run, and it was pretty interesting. A few years back, I got to hang out with this black 22 car Mountain Dew decal sticker, and I think it might have been Diet Mountain Dew. I had to go back on photos, but that was pretty sweet. In 8th is the 119 at Dalton Zier. Nice job, Coleman Racing Products, sponsor my channel. Pretty happy about that car finishing top 10. Nice job for Dalton there. And 9th is 2023's Super Late Model champion Gabe Somers in car 15. Lost this point championship by, I think, there's a 4-point lead gap coming into this one. So I think he might have lost it by 2 to 1 point. It was pretty close and tight this year between Gabe Somers and Casey Johnson. Casey Johnson, of course, coming on top at the end, clutch. Kind of reminds me in Winchester of 2002, 23 years ago, with Joey Clan and Gary Sinema, and Gary winning the state fair, but Joey finishing more and having 9 wins, one off from Johnny Sauter's championship career wins of 10 in the series, and winning the championship in 2002 by 1 point, Joey Clan over Gary Sinema. It's like this again, 23 years later. Pretty sweet. See it in super late model cars that are not big, bulky, mid-am American cars like these guys. You could say that these ASA cars are mid-am cars for the mid-am American series. If you go and look at reference between the ASA series and the mid-am American cars, they're pretty much the exact same deal. And but it'd be really fun though if the ASA Movers Tour were running the mid-am program cars. That would be a really cool trade-off, and I'd kill to see that and have some of these guys run a 2002 to 3 and 2004 ASA 5-star Monte Carlo ASA body. That'd be pretty cool. I'd like to see that one if they are actually able to allow that to happen. Probably not, but it'd be pretty cool as a throwback. And then in 10th is the 9 of Derek Kraus, Xfinity and Craftsman truck driver as well. So Derek has got some NASCAR experience, same with Ty Majeski. But Ty didn't get anywhere near the championship because he was running a lot of the NASCAR stuff. And then I had to talk about this major wreck this year. I recorded 2 of them. This one was more in depth and has a lot more meaning and sentimental behind it. But in 23rd in the running order, you'll find the 36 of Ty Ferguson, which that car, hammock style on 2 trucks for tow trucks, man, that was a heck of a wreck. And getting the whole door blown off, ripping a tire, hoses dragging on the racetrack surface. One super late model in the Midwest Tour cost $80,000 to $88,000, and to see that one just, oh man, that was a heck of a hit. I of course recorded the back half of the wreck, but what I did see on our peripheral vision was a car sideways and then landing back on 4 wheels and driving down the track, and right when I got my phone to that, you just saw the big poof of smoke. So I did catch the peripheral vision out of the corner of my eye. Ty's 36 car sideways just by himself, because what happened was the car broke. I thought somebody got into him, but his car just broke, let go, he spun it sideways, which then propelled the car to be on 2 wheels, so the fans in turns 1 and 2 could see the roof and the sponsor on the hood, and then land and then drive down the embankment on the banking of the track. And the thing about La Crosse and Firefly Speedway, they're exactly the same size, and they have the exact same amount of banking. And with that being said, if they do have another car, great. If they don't, I don't see Ty Ferguson making Snowball Derby this year. And Conrad Peterson, my buddy, will fill me in because he's going to that. But I really feel bad for Ty and the whole Ferguson team for that. That's not what you want to have at a championship race at the end of the season. That's a really big bummer. And hopefully things can be good for Ty next year. I know that he did win Thunderstruck 93 this year, which is pretty cool. But a very, very bummer deal, to say the least, on that one. So now, 2025 Elko Speedway point standings, all right here. So, congratulations to Chris Cruiser Merrick, also winning Dwayne Barron's Tribute Night. I was at that track that night just to get free sunglasses. Not these ones, but they're the NASCAR ones that I was wearing when I was in the drifter car on championship night at Elko. thanks to the guy that allowed me to hang out with him in that 2010 Chevy Camaro. That's got a lot of good videos on that. Appreciate you guys liking that. That was right after my grandfather's funeral. That was a big night for me. And I just have to really thank the Elko community. When I was signing autographs, I got to sign Brett Kane autograph postcards because he was up there signing, and the kids and everybody that got one wanted to get mine again or get mine, so I was able to sign the Brett Kane autograph Thundercard postcards as well too, and a fan allowed me the opportunity to sign the 60th anniversary Elko Speedway sweatshirt with my Chrome Sharpie. That was huge, and that one was really special to me, and it took me a minute to really to get my bearings straight again, because I was expecting to sign anything of that high caliber for my favorite track of all time locally, and for this to be my 25th consecutive year without missing a season from all the way to 2000, which is right here. So we're talking all the way back to 25 years ago to 25 years later. To give love to a track at 4 years old, to them eventually getting the love back and redemption, that was pretty neat. And so I had to shake my hand a little bit, and everybody thought I had to activate the Sharpie. That was not the case. It's because I needed to get my surroundings and my concentration focus wavering back again, because coming off of my grandfather's funeral and to hold the sweatshirt that high caliber with the 60th anniversary sweatshirt, I didn't buy one, but just to touch it and to be able to sign my name on it, whoa, that was pretty big pressure for me as a fan and a YouTuber star, and that one really hit home for me. And the fans are like, so are you activating the marker? I said, no, my grandfather's funeral was yesterday, and this is my 25th season coming out here. It's my 101st time at the track, and everybody spontaneously said, take as much time as you possibly need to get your concentration back and to sign the sweatshirt the best way you know how to your ability. And I probably had to take about 6 minutes to myself before I signed the sweatshirt correctly and professionally to my ability, and which I did. And that was really huge. And that was the longest autograph receiving line that I had in my entire life on championship night this year. I don't know if maybe down the line one might beat this. But I was up there in the main area in front of the front stretch by the start-finish line for 30 minutes. Normally I'm up there for maybe about 10, 15 at the most. This was 30. All thanks to you guys and everyone that supports that track and supports me in my profession. All thanks to my grandfather, of course, which is pretty cool. So that one really hits home for me, and I even told the fans when I was signing my own postcards, and they're like, man, you're so lucky to be a team member. And I said, well, if you're able to have a goal at a young age and stick with it, it will pay off in the long run. If all you guys can stick with a goal that you have in life, you can get to about the same point as I am right now, 25 years later. And half of these kids were like, whoa. Some of them were talking to each other, and I could hear little conversations going on. This guy just talked deep, and I know, did you hear that? That's pretty inspiring. So it was really cool to hear little chitter chatter between fans, and like, man, this is sweet. And this is why I'm wearing sunglasses, because I'm gonna keep a poker face on. But it was neat, and that was really cool, and I appreciate you guys a lot for that. And that was special to me. But congratulations to Chris Cruising America's the second race of the Elko season was not the greatest for him because of the altercation with Dusty Man involvement there, but hopefully it can be cooler heads next year at Elko, and it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. But congratulations to Chris Merrick. I know that he's been runner-up for a while because Jacob Geedy was hounding on everybody, and pretty big. Back to Ty Ferguson real quick. 2014, his dad Dan Ferguson won Thunderstruck. Dan was runner-up in 2015 at Ty Majeski, but the 36th Big Gate Redemption in 2025, 10 years later, so that was pretty cool. So nice job for Ty. So, and then second in points, it was kind of tight, but Chad Wallen tried to do all he could to get that 52 a championship. It's been a long time since he's won a Czech championship of any kind, but runner-up again. Even if it's not the 72, it's the 3 at Chris Cruiser Merrick, but Chad he kept working on it, but just kind of missed the shot there. But I'll be interested to see what happens next year. But the 3 was really good towards the end of the season. Very consistent throughout too. So nice shot for Chris, driving like Dale Earnhardt out there. Third is the 14 of Grant Brown. Or third is Grant Brown in the 14 car. Fourth is the 8 of Billy Moan. Fifth is the 50 Steve Anderson Jr. Sixth is the 32 of Jeremy Wolf. 7th is the 6 of Owen Giles. 8th is the 07 Dylan Sullinger. 9th is the 9 of Tim Anderson. And top 10 was Hunter Payne. And winning both late model events that night too. His dad did it at Toma, and then the 94 backing it up. So that was pretty good for Hunter to do that. He's actually going to bring the Monte Carlo body back from 2003 to 2004 next year. So the Corvette he told me this will be the last year of the Corvette body, and then he'll get back to the Monte Carlo, because he did it once a few years ago, and he won with that car, and then he'll run it next year. So it'll be really cool to get a 360 locker on that 94 next year, so that'll be pretty cool. So, and then for my profession, and the reason why I'm into this in the first place is my team, 22nd, 24th in points. 22nd, you'll find the 41 at Johnny the Rocket Reavers. And the 24th is 75 with Joel Tyson, who only made opener this year. And Joel kind of driving a limited schedule. He didn't show up for Thunderstruck 93 in the Big 8 division, but Donnie showed up for the Super. On lap 10, when Billy Moan had an altercation and destroyed the whole field by accident, of course, but he just washed up the track from what I heard, and Donnie's car wasn't killed, but he scuffed the wall and the car was fine, but the handling them was wonky, and then it was off kilter, and if a late model gets 1 inch off of where it was, it can still drive really good or really, really bad, and it was totally the opposite. And they, of course, penalized the 8 and threw him further back in the field, so that was kind of a bummer there for Billy. And then Owen Giles, I also heard too, he got a bad boy award in the Big late model division because there was some wreckage there too. And same for the 9 of Tim Anderson getting into the 32 of Jeremy Wolf at the end, and I think I've talked about that too in another video. But yeah, hopefully next year at Thunderstruck it can be clean and green for the whole night, and of course I'll be out there for that. But the thing I heard about Thunderstruck, I have to look back at the schedule for the Midwest Tour. I heard they're going to kick this to July because the problem with Thunderstruck the past few years has been rain. And it looked like rain on the radar up until Friday, then it was fine. But 2023, complete washout, we didn't have it. We had it last year, but there's still rain in the area, which it did rain a little bit last year in 2024 when Justin Mondyke won. And I'm sitting in here like, gosh, it's 10 years ago with rain, pushed us all the way back, left the track at 2:35 in the morning, and I didn't get back to Chaska until 2:45 in the morning. Heck of a long night there, and that was a whew. It was fun, but holy smokes! So it was crazy, and we were still talking. We sort of talking about that one, and Dan Ferguson, of course, winning that one, and that's before Ty even got to his success. But he did a good job this year, especially in the Arkham Menards series. And but that was really good stuff. But I heard that Thunder 93 No Chill will be kicked to July, which will be huge, and not be towards the end of the season. He also brought back free camping at Elko, which is really cool to hear that. And of course, 2 drivers extending the life of Elko and stamping it as his approval to being a Minnesota landmark. So no outside investors, no bulldozer, no Caterpillar machinery ever get near close to touching that track for demolishing. So really glad to hear that. And that was the big thing. And my grandfather heard it before he passed away, so that was really cool. So yep. But I ranked the season as just as an average A to A minus, and but I think towards championship night really kicked it into gear. So it wasn't as high caliber as last year was, but I give it a solid A. So I would rank it as a percentage out of 100. I'd probably rank it at a 95. So it wasn't as high caliber as last year for all 100% and then shooting the monitor sky high, but I say it's an A to A minus 95% out of 100. So, but definitely the big thing was championship night. That was the biggest moment for me personally, was championship at Elko. 25th, the 4th and final time I was out there, getting right around the track, shotgunning the Camaro SS from 2010. That was huge. Needed that to happen. 2001, my grandfather got to do this at Kansas Speedway in Shirley Marlin's car for the Richard Petty Drive Experience. And he was riding shotgun with me, for sure. And so it runs in the family, big time. And that photo gets me through a lot there, so I was really happy about that. And so he was with me in the When He's Still Alive, quoting 10 Years In with the Fred Bear song, and it was pretty awesome. Of course, I had my number 3 fingers up at the side window of the car. You couldn't see that because it was off the peripheral vision of my camera, my phone, and I didn't want my phone to go whoop out the window and have you guys get tossed to the side and then laying in the grass and everything, because Racing Empire lost one of his GoPro cameras on a roof of a car, and when the team track officials found it, and they had it, and the screen was cracked on it, and I don't need this having in my phone, and my phone's also the reason why I make all these postcards, so I can't lose the thing that gets me through the Elko season a lot, so I can't lose that. So, but it was a really good championship night. I was really happy about that, and had a lot of fun with that, and it was really cool. The fireworks show was always fun, and if you guys missed championship night this year, definitely highly advise you to make it to next year, and it'll be my 26th consecutive year going from 2020 26, and I'll be 30 years old next year too, which is pretty cool. So come March 8th and celebrating that in Las Vegas, which will be fun. So, but it was a good Elko season. Great to get 2 new tracks on my belt for Toma and Dells. I don't think I'll go back to Toma Sport Speedway, but at some point I'll definitely get back to the Wisconsin Dells track, and my dad really likes that track too, and same for lacrosse, so that was pretty cool. And but it was really good stuff. Glad I could bring you guys along to everything, and getting feedback from some of you fans in person was really cool this year. The ARCA Menards event was a fun one. Looking forward to going back to that. That'll be June 27th next year, so looking forward to that with my buddy Sam Shea. And but yeah, so this was a good season. Only went 4 times this year though, given the fact that I had a wedding and unfortunately a funeral to go to. And but next year, it's on. I gotta say, it's game on. I don't know if I'm gonna go 8 next year, but that's the goal every year. I try to shoot for is 8, and I've gotten 7 twice back to back. 2019 and 2020 was 7. I was really happy about that. Being consistent and prestige like that was cool. So, but I'm hoping to bring the same enthusiasm for you guys next year. It might be a little bit tough, given the circumstance that I'm dealing with, but it's going to be interesting. It's going to be heavy. It's going to be deep for sure for that first year, but I think the more that I think the first year doing it, next year it's going to be, it might be a little tough, but I think the second year and then the third year, and I think then the longevity going further down the line, I think then with time it gets better. You don't forget, but with time though, it does, you do get your arms wrapped around it some, and I can't go like this just yet, but for me, for my feelings about it, I'm kind of halfway, so it's still touchy when I talk about Elko, because it's so, that's where I feel my grandfather most out there. He's totally out there more than he is in here. Even though I have all my gear in here, I feel him more out there than I do here. I don't know why that is, but I think it's because of the connection we had for 14 years from 2000 to 2014. So his last race we went with was June 21st, 2014 to the ARCA. Back then they called the ARCA Remax before Menards kicked in. And that was one of my Grant Engfinger and a Ford Fusion. That was my first, that was actually my second, or no, check, my third ARCA race I went to, because I went in 2013, and I believe they had it in 2011 or 2012. It was one of those 2 years. And then I went in 2014, and then I didn't go again until 2018. So that was pretty cool. So, but definitely really happy about that, and but it's gonna be fun to see what happens and moving forward. But it's gonna be a little challenging at times, but I think with the grace of all you guys sticking with me, I think you guys can understand what the emotions of that, and the sentimental purpose as well with that as well, and just how touchy-feely that can be. But hopefully you guys can be understanding of that. And but it's going to be big for me. But everybody was so great to me this year, and I definitely appreciate it. And Jason, seriously, and Broccoli, you guys really took a lot of the pressure off of my shoulders, so I appreciate that. That's what I needed to have happened, and it feels good. So, and thanks to a lot of the other teams and drivers as well out there helping me out too. So I gotta love that. So, especially the Camaro ride was freaking awesome. So, see you guys next year, and I'll see you, and I'll of course be making more videos, but certainly see you next year at Elko Speedway. And all you awesome people out there, it's really cool, and without you guys, I wouldn't be doing this with. I mean, that's the big reason too that I'm doing this, is because of Elko and my grandfather, and then everybody that's out there. So, but I just gotta give a big thanks to the Elko community, and without that little track, ooh, we all be devastated. So, but thank you.